live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Another episode of Lounge Time. I'm your host, Rich Saile, and today we got a guest in the house. He hasn't been on about 2 years, but I needed to get him back on because playoffs are heating up. And I said we were going to have guests for the playoffs. I was not messing around. I've got the one, the only, Rebal LOR, a.k.a. DJ Rebal. What's good, my guy?
Let's go. What's up, bro?
What's going on, my man?
Doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, last time I had you on, it was after a very good Giants season. That's how long it's been. And you notoriously gave a funny NBA Finals prediction that ended up going way south so bad. I mean, I wish I had something that I could say that it was way more south in, but I can't finish the joke right now. But that pick did not go well.
No.
For a lot of reasons.
No.
I will let you rebound with your NBA picks later in the show. But we're going to go over NFL wildcard games. We'll have basically 6 games played. We'll go over that. Divisional round preview we'll predict. You're going to give your AFC NFC Championship picks and Super Bowl 59 pick. And then we'll let you redeem yourself with the NBA with a little college football final preview and potentially 2025 Giants solutions. You are running out, but I'm going to save that till the end. But we're going to start off with the NFL wildcard weekend. It's not going to be the traditional recapping with Rich as always. We're going to do it a little different. But, Rebal, let's go the first question. Out of the entire wildcard weekend slate, thoughts on the overall games itself, the weekend slate? Thoughts on just in general the wildcard round?
I thought it was pretty underwhelming, to be honest. Because, the first game I saw was, I want to say it was the Chargers and Texans. Was that the first wild card game?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a slow first half, I remember. It was just not many touchdowns. I mean, the Texans looked awful, but they came back and rebounded, and they put up 31 or something, I think. So it was the Chargers disappointed, I think. I think a lot of people thought the Chargers would win, because the Texans were banged up on the receiver. They didn't have Tank Dell.
Right.
They didn't have Stephon Diggs.
Right.
So, and the Chargers were healthy. They had Dobbins back. McConkey was looking good.
Yeah.
But, and then other than that, I think there was, what other games did they have? Remind me? I know the Commanders-Bucks was the only good game.
Yeah. Steelers-Ravens was the later game Saturday, and then you had the Eagles-Packers in the middle slate on Sunday. Broncos-Bills was really not. It was competitive for a little bit, and then Josh Allen went crazy in the third, and then Vikings-Rams on Monday night.
Right. Yeah. So the Vikings-Rams the Vikings looked terrible. Sam Darnold was just getting sacked. He didn't really I don't know. He just in the pocket when he's pressured, he didn't know where to go. And so the Vikings I feel like this happens every year with them. They're they're a 14, 13 win team, and then they lose in the wild card.
Yeah.
Packers, Eagles, that was also, it wasn't a bad game. It was better compared to the rest. But the Packers first, literally the kickoff, they fumbled.
Yep.
And that was the biggest play of the game, I think. It was and then the Eagles scored a touchdown.
Right.
On that, I think I forget, it was some no-name who scored it, I think. Or some he used to play for the Commanders.
Yes,
right?
yes, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, Dotson. That's Vince's guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the Packers, Eagles. I think the Packers had so many chances, dude. It was 16-10 at one point. And then You know, they just couldn't punch it in like to the end zone.
Yeah.
So they had some red zone troubles.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bills Broncos. Dude, the Broncos looked good early.
Mm-hmm.
I think they scored first, right? It was 7.
Yeah, they did. You're right.
And then they had the fake punt.
Yep.
Which was a huge play.
Yeah.
But they couldn't do anything on that drive.
Right.
So I think, you know, that stalled them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just gave the Bills the ball too much. The Bills had possession. Like, they controlled the ball, like, way more than double the Broncos.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You know, I think that was a good... I mean, the wild card round, I would give it, like, a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
To be honest.
That's fine. Yeah. I think the biggest takeaway for me was a lot with what you said. I was shocked at how disappointing Justin Herbert looked in the Charger-Texan game. Like, the fact that with a better coach, Jim Harbaugh, than Brandon Staley, the receiving core I knew was challenging because the way their passing game was all season. Like, Quentin Johnson just, you know, he's got size, he's got speed, but, like, his hands, he can't catch anything, really, it feels like. Lon McConkey had the one big play for them. Other than that, they had, like, Justin Herbert threw pick sixes left and right. I mean, he threw a big pick six that decided the game against Houston. I mean, before picks, you know, when against a team that, like you said, without Stephon Diggs, without Tank Dell, I know Houston's defense was good, but the fact that they stunk it up that bad, I mean, people forget, he had a 27-3 lead on the Jaguars, and he blew that game. Now you got this game on top of it. 2 disappointing playoff performances for him. It's like, there's got to be some serious discussions about him, and I think he's an immensely talented quarterback, but something is missing with him in a big game that just always comes up disappointing, and I feel like that was part of it. I think when we go to Jordan Love with the Eagles, I'm like you. I thought that game was competitive, and then Philly just blew the doors down. Like, their defense picked off Jordan Love 3 times. I did not think Jordan Love would be this bad. Like, I thought Green Bay would be a lot better than the 2-game losing streak, but that 2-game losing streak ended up being a more glaring sign than I thought. But when their receivers got banged up left and right, it was like, okay, Jordan Love, you got to find a way to just try to make this game close. And the early pick by Saile, then you got 2 more after that. He really underperformed bad in the playoffs. And I know the Eagles are a much better defense than they were last year around this time. But I just, you know, hit Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, and Sam Darnold. They really were the big storyline of how bad some of these quarterbacks were in the postseason, because Sam Darnold's in a contract year. You know, he's looking for $30 million plus a year because of the season he's having. And like you said with the Vikings, with your Giants, you know, that was Kirk Cousins that you guys beat. Right? Sam Darnold, this team was on pace for the 1 seed 2 weeks ago. And they scored 9 points against Detroit, which a defense that got lit up by San Francisco, by Detroit, a couple weeks before. Buffalo, San Francisco, Buffalo, Green Bay even lit them up. I mean, Detroit's defense did not look good before that Vikings game at all. And the fact that Darnold missed so many open throws, and then on top of it, he just looks like lost, like the lights got too big for him. Back-to-back disappointing, well, not back-to-back, but 2 out of the last 3 years, Minnesota's had double-digit wins, and they flunk in the playoffs. I mean, I like Kevin O'Connell as a coach, but that's a big deal. That is a huge deal that you look bad twice. Now, the Rams, I know they were playing with the wildfires in their mind, on their hearts. Okay, I understand that. But Minnesota, Brian Flores had a really good defense. They got gashed. They got gashed by Matthew Stafford in that twice this season, right? So the Vikings, like you said, I mean, I don't know when people are going to... Like, the thing that upsets me, I was high on the Rams all season from Sean McVay. I said, I will never bet against Sean McVay. I just sit back. If I lose, I lose. But I'm not going to bet against him. And what do? I fucking take the Vikings. And I'm like, why did I do this to myself? I told my dad when I was watching the game, I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Why did I take Minnesota when I know, why do I bet against Sean McVay? That's my own fault. I have nobody to blame but me. But, like, this is why I don't trust the Vikings. And I told them, weeks ago, I said, Minnesota, to me, I don't trust in the playoffs. You have to win on the road. They can't win on the road. And, yep, this is the same old Vikings that just, good in the regular season, but when they play a big-name team, they fold cheaper than cheap tents. That's what they do.
For sure.
So,
yeah, and take it to the Commanders-Bucks game. Dude, I like, even as a Giants fan, the Commanders are exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And, dude, their coach just kept going 4th down. I remember they left like 6 points on the board.
Right.
And there was like that drive, and they still went for it on fourth. They could have kicked another field goal,
right.
And they actually got the touchdown that time with Terry McLaurin.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So, dude, like the Commanders, I think their coach is really good, and they even got like a great quarterback. Yeah, dude, and that kick at the end was so close.
Yeah.
But dude, props to the Commanders. You know, they're moving on.
Yeah.
And just the Broncos, even though they lost, I think they had a great season.
Yeah, I mean, to go off your 2 points, I mean, let me go to Denver first. This team had $90 million in like dead cap space, right? So the fact they were in salary cap hell to begin the year, and they go to the wild card round with Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and a draft. I thought that team had to nail the draft this year. Well, Bo Nix looks pretty good. I mean, I don't think he's a guy that like I feel like can have crazy success, but Sean Payton's there. He's had good success at Oregon before the NFL. So I feel like when they get their salary cap space and they get Russell Wilson's contract off their books, they can actually build pretty good around Bo Nix. And especially with the fifth-year option, you got 5 years to essentially build a team around him. And that defense, I get it, like Buffalo's really good, but the late part of that season, they didn't really play to the par that they needed to play. Because Cincinnati lit up 30 points on them. The Chargers even lit up 30 points on them. And I'm saying to myself, the Colts even had a little success. They didn't put up a lot on Denver, but that defense, towards the end of the season, they gave up a lot of points. And I was like, you can't give up a lot of points with Buffalo, but Josh Allen, it just shows you how well the game is speeding for him. Like, he's seeing things quicker, making great decisions. And I knew about 2 years ago, I was like, yeah, this kid, if he knows the game, like a Brady Manning, it's wraps. And
right.
He's going to be, and I think he's in that tier of Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, of just guys that just are top-notch quarterbacks. And I think Denver, they're going to get the pieces they need with Bo Nix, but the fact they did it with all that dead money on Russell Wilson's contract, that was impressive. To your point with Washington now, that kid, Jaden Daniels, I watched him a little bit towards the end of the season. That's like similar to what I did with CJ Stroud. And I took them on my show last week. That kid is not afraid of the moment. And when you got a kid that's not afraid of the moment, that's a great sign as a fan, because it's like, okay, we have a shot with him every single game. And that's a great sign for a quarterback, because if you're not afraid of that moment, it shows, okay, he will constantly uplift that team. You have a chance anytime it's within one score or you need a drive to go win, he can do it for you. And I feel like Washington has their guy right now. Like, he is really, really good. I mean, to me, like, I knew he could run. I think sometimes he sometimes looks to run too much first instead of relying on his pocket skills, because I feel like when he's throwing from the pocket, he's just as dangerous as a runner. Like, he really makes good decisions, and I'm like, wow. But yeah, no, we were saying, like, us in a group chat with our friends, we were saying that, I was saying to you guys, I was like, they left 6 points off the board. But that turnover was the difference in the ball game, because it gave Washington a short field. They scored on the fourth down, like you said. But
and that turnover, yeah.
You know, to your division, like in a nutshell, and then we'll go into the divisional round preview. Washington, Dan Quinn doing a great job, like you said. Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator over there, helping Jaden Daniels with NFL experience and college level experience. The Eagles, top-notch defense. Howie Roseman just somehow finds a way to build his team really good every season. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, your former Giants player, goes to the division rival. The Cowboys let Mike McCarthy go. They'd be a free agent. And Dak Prescott's right now the foreseeable quarterback. But now there's talk that Deion Sanders might be the head coach of the Cowboys, and then your Giants. But let's strictly focus on the teams within your division, because two of them are still remaining in the playoffs, right? The NFC East now has had at least two teams in the playoffs in the last 3 seasons. Sometimes even, well, the one last time you were here was 3. But the division itself, how tough do you think this division is going to be for you, for your Giants, getting back with Philly, might be a playoff contender almost every season with Sirianni, with the talent that Howie Roseman's able to accumulate year after year. Washington with their young quarterback now, and they're going to have cap space to build for next season, and knowing what to build around Jaden Daniels. And then the Cowboys, I know you're not worried about them, but the fact that there's a chance that Deion Sanders may be coaching the Cowboys with Prescott and maybe getting them turned around. But as a division itself, how tough do you think the NFC East has been the last couple of seasons.
Oh, it's been probably the most competitive division, I think. You got the NFC North.
Right, I was going to bring them up.
That's a pretty good division. Like the Vikings, Packers, Lions, I think.
Yep.
On there.
Yep.
And the Bears, who not good this year.
No.
I don't think Caleb Williams, I might be wrong, but I think he's not bad.
Right.
He's got potential, but
yeah,
you need an O-line to do something.
Yeah.
And he's but yeah, the NFC East is it's tough, dude. I don't think the next couple of seasons will make the playoffs, to be honest, but we just got to. The next couple of seasons is for getting our quarterback, building our culture back.
Yeah.
And we just got to get our quarterback help. We can't just we can't get a quarterback and just put him in and like you said, they got the Eagles and Commanders. They're looking like a playoff team for the foreseeable future.
Right.
The Cowboys are a little iffy. It's scary, dude. The division's scary. We got to make moves quick, or else we're just gonna be fucking 3-14.
Yeah.
The next, however.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you and I have both had back-to-back bad seasons. So, but I mean, quick thoughts on the Giants before we go to the division round. Are you shocked that they kept both Daboll and Schoen?
Not really. I'm more shocked. I like Daboll, so I'm happy they kept him.
Right.
But Joe Schoen, he's just, I don't know. I don't like the he's made some questionable draft picks. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the hire management.
Okay.
But Daboll as a coach, I like Daboll.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the owner John Mayer, he's saying I'm losing patience and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
It's dude, you've done this to yourself,
Right.
So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you would agree. The Neighbors pick was really good. I think the draft before was Deonte Banks, I think.
Yeah, he's not looking great.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
Kayvon, maybe.
Kayvon was, I think, the same year.
2022, maybe.
Yeah, but I thought there was another pick you had in 2022 that was good. I thought you guys had 2 picks in that first round. I'm trying to remember, but I feel listen, I feel like the thing with your team was somebody had to take the fall for letting Saquon go for nothing. The fact you let him go to the Eagles of all teams, right? And somebody had to take the fall for the Daniel Jones contract. And the last time I had you on, it was about that Daniel Jones contract. And they gave him $40 million a year. Now, I understand you guys needed a quarterback at that time, and you had to pay him, but that was a contract that you knew early on, okay, we did screw up. But somebody had to take the fall for that. So I thought one of them should have at least taken the heat. But the fact that Mara kept both, and you stay on top of it, you're losing patience, makes me go, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that if you kept both, but yet you're saying you lose patience. Then why didn't you not get rid of one of them? That's what I don't understand. This is why, you guys, listen, I think you guys have good players. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not trolling now. Malik Neighbors is really good. You just need a quarterback, like you said. Okay? Your defense has good core pieces. Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon, Brian Burns. Okay?
We got Tracy on offense, too. He's not looking bad,
Yeah,
Tracy.
He's a good running back. Yeah, he's a good late running back, right? But, again, you have to nail the most important position in football and look at, teams like now, again, you have the worst-kept secret going into the draft with, J.J. McCarthy, you guys trying to move up for. The fact you don't even take him, you take Neighbors because you're trying to trade up with my team of all teams, the Patriots, to try to get Drake May or Jaden Daniels. But that never ended up going the way you guys thought. And I thought initially at 6, okay, you guys might take Michael Penix. You guys might take J.J. McCarthy. You guys weren't taking Bo Nix. But I thought, okay, it's going to be one of those guys. But you take Neighbors, and Neighbors is a good pick, but it leads you to 3 or 4 wins.
Right.
And it's well, why did you tell teams you're moving up for a quarterback? You don't get it, and then when you have a chance to pick it, you take Neighbors. Which I'm not hating on the pick. I just don't know why you would say that, because when you have Daniel Jones, you messed up, and that's where I just say somebody's just got to go.
Right.
Somebody had to take the fall for that. But,
yeah.
But that's why I wanted to ask you about the division, because The NFC East now has had 2 teams in the playoffs.
Scary division.
Yeah, and it's 2 teams in the playoffs have been there each of the last 3 seasons. Dallas Eagles, Giants, 22. Dallas Eagles in last season, and now the Eagles Commanders this year, right? So let's move on to the divisional round real quick because everybody wants to know the preview, okay? Now, the Texans against the Chiefs, first game, Saturday at 4:30. They met a few weeks ago. The Chiefs ended up beating them 27-19. That was the game Tank Dell got hurt. And the Texans, they didn't look good before the game against the Chargers, but they won, and now they're going to Arrowhead. Do we feel like that this is a blowout, or do we feel like the Texans defense can keep them in the game and give C.J. Stroud a chance to pull off an upset that I think is I don't think the Texans have a shot. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the lines of that game?
I can pull them up right now if you want.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you're good.
Let me just peep that.
Yeah, because I think last I seen it, I think it was 8.5 Chiefs. I think.
So it's -8 Chiefs.
Yeah,
and they're -500 favorite. Yeah. So that game, I mean, the Chiefs just look like the Chiefs are the Chiefs. You know.
Yeah.
They got the best quarterback, arguably, right now.
Yeah.
What is he going for, a 3-peat now?
Yeah.
I don't know. When's the last time a quarterback did a 3-peat? Was it Brady?
No one's ever. Well, okay. For those of you NFL historians, the last team to do a legit 3-peat, and this was before I think the Super Bowl era, so like that's why I'm saying this too. It was the Packers with Bart Starr in the '60s when they had Vince Lombardi, Bart Starr, all those guys. That was the last time. But technically, that was when they used to call the Super Bowl the World Championship game. Mm-hmm. So technically, a 3-peat has not been done in the Super Bowl era. Mm-hmm. So just to provide some context. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that game, in the way the Texans looked versus the Chargers, I don't think Herbert made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
So I don't think Mahomes is going to make that many mistakes.
True.
So just for that point, I mean, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a blowout or not, I don't know if I'm not really sure. Mm-hmm. I could give you a score prediction here.
You could do it. Yeah.
31-14. I think Kansas City takes it.
Yeah, I could see a similar thing. I mean, Tank Dell being out, I think changes that entire offense because they could just double Nico Collins and then they could say to the others, we'll let you beat us with one of them. And they couldn't really run the ball with Joe Mixon, I feel like. And I'm sorry, I think the Texans have no shot to beat Kansas City. I don't. And I hate the cheap bandwagons. I do. They have no shot, the Texans. I don't see it. I don't see a scenario where the Texans go into Arrowhead and beat this team. I would love that because then all hell breaks loose for us. I mean, because then this celebration will be great. But I'm not banking. I'm not putting my eggs on the Texans. So, no, I'm with you. I think the Chiefs blow them out. I don't even think this is a game. In fact, this is the one game I'm glad I'm not watching for other job-related purposes. But I digress that point. But this is the one game I'm glad I'm not watching because I think this is a blowout potential. But, no, I can see that score prediction. I can. I'm not going to do score predictions, but actually, you know what? I'll give you one. Actually, I'm going to go similar to you. I'm going to go 30-16 Chiefs.
All right.
I'll do that. You know what? I'll do that. All right. Commanders against the Lions. Now, Detroit got the bye, and they're going for that push for their first Super Bowl championship. Commanders coming off an emotional win against Tampa Bay, but they are rolling, and I want to see kind of how the Lions defense is off the bye because I feel like the one worry I got with the Lions defense is if San Francisco scored 30 plus on them, if Buffalo scored 40s, if Green Bay scored 31 on them, how much is Washington going to put up? And I know Washington hasn't been in a big stage game, but I told our friend Vinny, I said, you guys are playing with house money. Detroit's playing with all the pressure because they're on a Super Bowl mission. Washington, nobody expected to get to this point. I told him, sit back, just enjoy it, and go from there. Now, he's going to go against his own Vin curse with the Jaden Daniels jersey, but that's, a little joke that I'll say for him. But how do you see that game playing out?
That's going to be a crazy game. I remember watching the Vikings-Lions, was it like a couple weeks ago? Or maybe last week?
2 weeks ago.
And I mean, dude, the Vikings were just shooting themselves in their own foot, I think they had like a legit chance because Jared Goff didn't even look good that game. You know,
No.
he threw 2 picks, I think, or 3 picks. Jahmyr Gibbs was just like he all touchdowns, 4 touchdowns.
Right.
So yeah, Jared Goff. I mean, he's a little skeptical. I don't know. I'm skeptical of Jared Goff a little bit.
Okay.
But I think their offense, dude, is just they have too many weapons. I don't see how the Commanders could get in a shootout with them.
Right.
So because I think that's how the game would kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
They got Gibbs. They got
Montgomery
St.
might
Brown.
come back. Yeah.
Montgomery might come back. They got Laporta, who's not looking bad. Jamison Williams.
I was just gonna bring his name
Who's
up.
good. So yeah, dude, I think the Lions win. But I do think the Commanders will be in the game.
Okay.
But I think the Lions are gonna pull away, the second half.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the score might be, but I think the Lions win by 10 points.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah, I feel like definitely Detroit's going to score on Washington. I mean, their defense to me is a little suspect. I think they'll easily get to 30, 31. I'm going to go 34-23. I think Washington's going to hang in there a little bit, and then I think Detroit's going to be like, all right, enough of this. One score, knockout punch late. I got 34-23, Detroit.
I like that.
Washington.
And imagine Detroit still had their defensive end. I forget his name.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, that guy was a monster.
Yeah.
So, if they still had him, this game, I wouldn't even give Washington, a chance, honestly, because that's a game-changing player right there.
Right. Yeah.
So, I think Washington could do it. They just have to force turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
They got to get Jared Goff, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is you got to stop the run, you know?
Yeah.
And Jahmyr Gibbs is top 5 running back, right now. So I think he's the most touchdowns in the league. He's 20 touchdowns. Yeah, so I got the Lions for sure.
Yeah, I think like you said, the only way really Washington can stop Detroit is, I think, from defensively, I think you definitely have to be physical up front, because if you can kind of be physical up front with those guys, clamp the run, and then no big plays, because Ben Johnson's offense, there's going to be a big play, a little special gadget play they'll have saved up, and I just don't know. I mean, Evans torching Marshawn Lattimore, and now you got Amon-Ra St. Brown coming in there. Yeah, Jamison Williams the big play. I don't like Washington's chances, but I think the best hope they have is you got to be physical up front with that offensive line, with Penny Sewell, and I think Ragnow's still the center there. I mean, they have guys up front. Taylor Decker, I think, is the left tackle. It's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask.
Yeah, Lattimore got burned bad last week, so he's gonna have a tough matchup.
Yeah, but like you said, Quinn blitzing with Jared Goff. I think if you can pressure Jared Goff up the middle, that's where he's vulnerable. And I feel like Washington's gonna have to find creative ways to blitz him. And Quinn can blitz. We've seen him do it before, but and then I feel like their secondary, they're gonna have to be disciplined. No big plays. Kind of sustain them out there, long drives. And then I think Washington just has to play ball control, which I don't know if they've really been a ball control team this entire time, so I feel like that kind of goes against what they do. But that's, I think, the only hope that Washington has to beat Detroit. And I don't know. I don't think they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see it. Right. So let's go to the other Sunday games in the divisional round. Now, there is snow in this game. Rams travel to Philadelphia. The Eagles, there's supposed to be snow in Philly. And this game going off, I think, 2 o'clock. And the Eagles, they didn't look great against Green Bay, but now the elements are in their favor. And the last time the two teams met, Saquon Barkley ran crazy on the Rams. Now, do you see that game being a similar type of outcome, the way the Eagles won? Or do you feel like, even though there's snow, it'll be closer than people think?
Remind me of the first match. What happened? What was the score?
37. I want to say it was 37-20.
Okay. Wow. That's yeah. I mean, the Rams. I haven't really been following like the Rams. How's their defense looking lately?
Well, they look really good against Minnesota. I mean, there's times where they give up a lot of points. I mean, they did handle the Cardinals. I think they held them to 9 points. The Jets, obviously, that's a small sample size. So they've done good against teams that have been struggling offensively. But the Eagles, obviously, they didn't look like they were quite perfect on offense against Green Bay. But when they play an offense that's in sync, they give up a lot of points. But
yeah.
the Rams' defense has been better of late.
I mean the Eagles, dude, they got like a crazy offense. Barkley hurts, and AJ Brown's been quiet, you know. So I think they got to get AJ Brown involved more. But the Rams, like Stafford's, like, you can't, like you said, you can't count out Stafford, McVay.
Right.
Yeah. And they got a solid running back, Kyron Williams.
Right.
So it could be a close game because, I mean, like we said, the Packers, Eagles, they didn't look. I mean, like Barkley had that touchdown at the end to make like the score looked closer than it really was.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
But I don't see the Eagles losing at home. So I'm gonna take the Eagles, as much as I hate them. Fuck you, Nick Sirianni.
Oh man. I don't know if the Rams are used to like snowy elements in the Sean McVay era. I think usually when they've gone in the cold, it's never gone out well for them because they're used to being a warm weather team in the dome. And I feel like that Vic Fangio has had Sean McVay's number every time for the most part. They've gone up against each other. I think he had his number when he had him in Chicago as the DC, and while he was on the Bears, and they had Jared Goff's number, and that was kind of what set the Rams on a downhill spiral. You know, and I feel like that, you know, even in early in the season, Barkley ran wild, but like Fangio's scheme, I feel like has just given Sean McVay fits. I'm gonna take the Eagles in this one because I feel like that the snow is going to be something the Rams are not used to. I feel like that's going to play an element as far as how they game plan. Kyron Williams will, I think, run the ball, but if Philly gets to a point where they clamp the run and they force Stafford to throw in the snow, I think it's going to put them in a tough situation because it's tough to run routes in the snow, especially with it being slippery and stuff like that. And the Rams are not used to the snow at all. So combined with Vic Fangio knowing Sean McVay so well, I feel like the Eagles, they'll probably get 1 or 2 picks on Stafford, I think. And I'm going to say the Eagles win. I'm going to say it's going to be low scoring. I'm going to say 23-10.
All right, I like that. So how's the Eagles secondary, would you say? Because I know the Rams got crazy receive. Like, Kupp's been all right.
Yeah.
But Puka's he's a,
right.
You know.
Yeah, he's definitely been their number one, I think, this season.
So you think the Eagles secondary does well against...
Well, they're much better than they were last year at any point. Last year at any point, that secondary, you could, you know, run an ice cream truck over there, and they still freaking, you know, got open. But no, they're much better. I mean, Quinyon Mitchell had an argument at one point for Rookie of the Year before, you know, some other guys took over. Cooper DeJean's a pretty good, you know, decent corner. Darius Slay had the pick against Goff. Blankenship's a good safety. Gardner Johnson comes from the Lions last season where they made a deep run, and he was on that Eagles team that went to the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. So their secondary is much better. I feel like they don't give up a lot of big plays, so I feel like they'll be able to handle, I think, if they could double Puka and then have an answer for Kupp, which I think they do. I feel like they'll be fine. I think they'll match up pretty good.
All right. Yeah, so we both got the Eagles.
Yeah, we both got the Eagles, yeah. And we both got the Lions, and we both got the Chiefs. So we're in agreement there.
All right.
Now, this game, I think we might be disagreeing based on some of the earlier conversations we had. It is a rematch of the 2020 divisional playoff.
This is like, could be the Super Bowl matchup.
No, it's not the Super Bowl matchup, but if it wasn't for the Chiefs, this could have been a potential AFC, championship game, but it's not. We're in talks about something for this game, me and you, and a couple of our other guys. But it is the Ravens traveling to Buffalo, and it's a matchup of the two guys that are the favorites to win the league MVP between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, and this could be the game of the weekend, easily. How do you see the Ravens-Bills playing out?
Damn, it's gonna be a crazy game.
Yep.
I mean, both teams, like, they got the 1-2 punch, like Lamar and then Henry and then Allen, Cook. Plus, they got like a passing game. So, I mean, the Bills' defense is like, I mean, they've been all right, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, they've been all right. Let's go with that.
So, Bills, Ravens. Damn, I think it's gonna be high scoring.
Oh, okay.
I I think it will be high scoring.
Okay.
I think it's a tough pick. It might come down like some game-winning field goal, dude. Like, I think it's gonna be that close.
Wow. Okay.
You know, damn, that's tough. I don't want to be wrong here.
Well, now you gave the freaking preview. You got to give me a score now with all this game-winning field goal. Who makes it?
All right. Let's see. So we got Justin Tucker, kicker,
You do know he's been off a couple games. This
and then
year.
we have who's
Tyler Bass.
Tyler Bass. Okay, yeah, Tucker has been like not himself.
Right. That's why I'm like curious. Like, who you got making this game-winning field goal?
All right, let me think about this real quick. So we got Lamar Henry. We got Zay Flowers out? He is out.
He's not practicing. It doesn't look like right now he's playing, but
And the Bills receivers like aren't that great, right?
no, but they're getting the job done.
They're getting the job done.
Right.
Damn. So I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
I think Tyler Bass wins the game
Redeems himself from last year, right?
for the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
I think Tyler Bass nails in the field goal
Okay.
from 47 yards.
Okay, you're calling the exact number. Okay, okay.
And I think the score will be, maybe not as high scoring. We'll say, what do we say? Let's say 24-21.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills.
Okay. When you said high scoring, I thought you meant higher than that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now you're retracting a little bit. All right. So a couple thoughts on this game. I feel like I saw a tweet the other day that said Baltimore is the worst matchup for Buffalo, while Kansas City is the worst matchup for Baltimore, while Buffalo is the worst matchup for Kansas City. So it's like Kansas City's praying for Baltimore because they could beat them, but they're like, please don't make it Buffalo. Please don't make it Buffalo, because Buffalo has been the only team to beat them this season, right? But the last time these two teams met in Baltimore early in the season in Week 4, Derrick Henry ran absolutely wild on them, and Lamar basically had anything he wanted against the Bills. That was Week 4. I know these are two different teams since, but I feel like that game kind of capulated the Ravens up, and the Bills, they had some early struggles, but that was a wake-up call for them that, like, all right, we're not the best team in the AFC at that point. We have to work on this to get better. And I feel like that, like you said, the defense of Buffalo has been a little shaky, but the Ravens' defense got better since they put Marlon Humphrey in the nickel, and they made, I think, Kyle Hamilton as a deep safety, which I think are two key and important adjustments for them, because those are good players that now fill important roles, and now the Ravens' defense has just completely been much better. But something tells me, like, and you and I went back and forth about this a little bit a couple days ago, I just feel like, to me, if you're asking me the quarterback I trust the most in this game, Josh Allen's beaten him once. Now, I know he didn't play statistically well in the last time these two teams met, but I just feel like that Josh Allen, to me, if you gave me a choice between him and Lamar Jackson in a big game, I trust Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. I do. I feel like Lamar Jackson, when he plays a really good team, he crumbles. And I know people are like, well, if he wins the Super Bowl, you have to put him in the top 10 all time. No, I don't. No, I don't. And let me tell you, and let me say this. Right now, I heard this about a week ago. Lamar Jackson has more first-place votes than Josh Allen does, and Lamar made first-team All-Pro over Josh Allen. So that tells me, hint, he won the MVP. Now, he's the only quarterback to win 3 league MVPs, and at the time he won his 3rd league MVP, he has yet to make a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl. Everybody else that's won 3 league MVPs has won a Super Bowl at that time they won their 3rd MVP.
Okay.
So, Lamar Jackson, listen, if the Ravens are going to win, they have to feed Derrick Henry and don't go away from him. But Lamar Jackson, he's got to make the key throws without Flowers. And I think Buffalo, the defense is a little worrisome. But this game, I'm a little worried for Buffalo because I feel like these teams are going to beat each other up. How much strength, how much energy and thing can you get ready to go play Kansas City in Arrowhead the next week? I feel like, to me, it pains me. I'm a Patriot fan. I'm rooting for Buffalo to win because I feel like Buffalo's the only team that can legit beat the Chiefs in the AFC. I don't think Baltimore can. I don't. Because I watched Lamar Jackson against Kansas City last year at your place, And they looked horrible offensively. Now, that was without Derrick Henry, but, like, you had the home field advantage, and you stunk it up by throwing pick after pick after pick. What makes me think Lamar Jackson can go into Arrowhead and beat them this time around? When they lost to him game 1 of the season. So,
I mean, Derrick Henry is a big pickup.
yes,
Takes
but
pressure off Lamar.
yes, it does. But the thing in that Week 1 game with Kansas City was they stopped Henry, and once they stopped Henry, they tried to make Lamar beat him as a passer. I don't think Lamar Jackson can win games against a very good elite team with his arms specifically. When you take away Derrick Henry.
That's fair.
And I feel like that's why I think Buffalo, if they're smart, you got to take away Derrick Henry and then figure out if you're going to put Milano on Lamar Jackson or you're going to put somebody that you trust that can figure out a way how to keep him in the pocket. Like, I mean, Von Miller's an experienced pass rusher. He is, but how do you cage up Lamar Jackson so he strictly beats you from the pocket? That's what it comes down to me. And I feel like that, Josh Allen, those guys, I think they'll be much better than the Week 4 contest earlier. I feel like the only reason the Bills lose is Sean McDermott gets in the way of some big late game situations. He makes some big critical errors in late in games. The defense does really bad, or they just have one unlucky play like Tyler Bass's missed field goal last year that just goes against them. I don't think this will happen this time around. I think Buffalo finally gets through and beats Baltimore.
Wow.
I do.
What do you guys score?
27-23 Buffalo.
Let me just peep the line. 27-24?
27-23.
Okay, so the Ravens are favored.
Yeah, I see by 1. Did it move?
No.
Okay, so it's still 1. All right, so it's basically a pick.
But they're basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically almost a pick.
It's a coin toss.
Yeah. All right, so me and you basically have the same championship game previews. So this is an easy segue. The Lions host the Eagles.
Fuck the Eagles.
The real Giants fandom showing. But no, it's all good.
All right, I'm going to go into this with no bias. Or
Go.
try to. As much as I hate Sirianni. Hate how Saquon left. Oh, we let him go.
That's what I was going to say. That's on you, though.
That's on us. So Eagles at the Lions.
Correct.
Eagles at the Lions. It's a good game. It's just like it comes back to just. I mean, Jalen Hurts has looked bad in some situations. Because I was gonna say like Goff is like he's looked bad also. How would you say like the Packers offense compares to the Lions offense?
Oh, Detroit's way better.
Way better.
Detroit's way better.
And the defenses of the two.
I think Philly has a slightly better defense because
Packers defense, Lions defense.
Because of the injuries, and I again, here's the thing. Am I gonna get the Lions defense that looked good against Minnesota? But like I feel like Minnesota missed a lot of open throws. So are the Lions defense that much better than Green Bay? Me personally, I don't think they are. I think because the injuries have started to catch up to them, and I know the Lions gave up a lot of points. So I'm gonna say Green Bay is slightly better on defense than the Lions.
All right, so I think that's also a close game.
Okay.
Eagles, Lions. That's tough, dude.
Yep.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna say they both got great running backs. They both got receivers. I'm gonna go the Eagles.
Okay.
I think the Eagles win it. I think Jalen Hurts will use the receivers more.
Okay.
That game. I think AJ Brown has a great game.
Okay.
And I think if AJ Brown doesn't get involved, they're gonna lose the game.
Okay.
They got to get him going, dude, because he's their best receiver. And like Saquon, you can only ride him so much. You don't want to overuse Saquon.
Right.
But I'm gonna still go the Eagles. I think the Eagles win it.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles win that game.
That must pain you.
It does pain. They're gonna be in the fucking Super Bowl.
I said when I did my playoff show, I do root for the Lions to get to a Super Bowl. I do. I think they're really, really good. They would basically make back-to-back NFC Championship games. I just feel like, for me, Detroit needs to find a way to stop Saquon Barkley and find a way to either double A.J. Brown and find a way to figure out how to handle Devontae and Goddard and those other guys. And I'm saying to myself, with all the injuries there, I don't know how you were able to do both. I mean, I feel like you're in a game where you have to outscore Philly, which I think they can do, but the Eagles, again, they're looking like they're in a complete rhythm right now. That's the only hope that I would say the Lions have right now. But I just say to myself, their defense is the biggest question mark. And I know Aaron Glenn is going to be a head coaching candidate for somewhere. Right now the Jets are, I think, the top choice. The Saints up there too. But I just don't. I mean, again, the only hope that Detroit has of beating Philly is you got to take away Saquon Barkley and double A.J. Brown and live with your chances with Devontae Smith or somebody to beat you. That's what I feel like has to happen. And I feel like their offense can score. I have no doubt about that. But, again, Fangio, coordinator, way better than anybody they had last year coordinating the defense between Sean Desai and Matt Patricia. But I feel like Fangio's so much better. I feel like that's going to put the edge over, Philly to beat Detroit, I feel like. But I think Detroit has a shot. I do. I think it just comes down to, are the Eagles in rhythm? And if the Eagles are not in rhythm early in the game, and the Lions start, realizing, hey, we could score and get an early lead, they got to hold it. Because last year they didn't hold it with San Francisco. And that's when it kind of fell apart.
Please, Detroit, please. I
mean, hey, listen, I want Detroit. I'm rooting for Detroit. But honestly, I picked the Eagles weeks ago to come out of the NFC because I trust them more. I just feel like right now, I would agree with your pick too.
Philly.
Yeah. But I want Detroit to win. I really do. Because that team, talk about a team that needs the Super Bowl. They'd be the best story in the NFL for a team to win the Super Bowl since I want to see the 99 Rams. Now, you may disagree with that, but because the Rams were god-awful before 1999 when then everything cooked for them. But let's go to the AFC Championship game. Bills against the Chiefs. This is a rematch. This would be the first time these two teams meet in the AFC Championship since 2020. And we obviously know that the Chiefs had the Bills number in the playoffs, but Josh Allen has another shot to beat Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be night. It's going to be Arrowhead. It's going to be loud. But the Bills have been the one team to beat Kansas City this year. They've beaten the Chiefs in the regular season the last 4 years, including this season. Does Josh Allen get his first postseason win against the Chiefs, or do the Chiefs three-peat still increases?
Last year we had Chiefs-Eagles, right?
No, Chiefs-49ers.
Oh, Chiefs-49ers.
You're thinking 2 years ago.
2 years, okay. Dude, I think Josh Allen does it. I think the Bills win.
How do you think they win?
The Bills? I think it's going to come easy for them.
What do you mean by come easy?
I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
Whoa, you bandwagon. See, I didn't say shit. Say shit. Go after him. He said 2 touchdowns?
The Bills,
I gotta know how this happens. This would be my dream scenario.
The Bills.
See, you can't even help himself, man. Come on. Don't
27-13 Buffalo.
You think they hold Mahomes the company to 13?
1 touchdown Mahomes. They're going to kick 2 field goals, and they're just going to...
Oh, man. See, I love that pick. But see...
Give me the Bills by 14 points.
By 14?
In the AFC Championship game.
Oh, man. I love this, but, like... If that happens... Oh, I'm taking a day off college. I'm taking a day off college. I have the props ready if they ever lose. And if they lose by that way, it's that much better. I want to believe that.
Like you said, no team has three-peated.
No.
And I don't even think the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl.
See, I wish that. I wish that so bad.
Give me a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl.
That's actually what I have, too, on the last show. I actually said that. Listen, I feel like this is going to be close.
I think the Bills-Ravens will be a better game than Bills-Chiefs.
Ooh, bandwagon. See, I didn't say anything. The bandwagon. I'm the one that's the host here. I didn't say anything. This man's the one saying Bills-Ravens will be better than Bills-Chiefs. I didn't say it, bandwagons. He did it. So, but I'm non-biasedly, I do think this game will be close. I do think the Bills will win by 1 score. I've got it 20-17 Buffalo. Because I feel like that Spags is going to have a game plan for Josh Allen. I think he's going to frustrate him a little bit early. He'll get a couple plays. But I think Tyler Bass redeems himself from last year, going Scott Norwood to being the hero in Arrowhead, and they went on a walk-off field goal.
Wow.
I think that's what happens.
I like that.
I think that. But I would love if they lost by 2 touchdowns, because then I get to have the dream scenario of
Get
myself.
the snacks out.
No, not even the snacks. The props.
Oh.
And I've got the props in a bag over there. I can't reveal them right now, though. Bandwagon, your day's coming. I didn't say anything. He did. He said 2 touchdowns. I didn't. So that means you got Bills, Eagles in the Super Bowl. Now, I know who I have for this game. Who do you have?
Bills, Eagles. Where's the Super Bowl played this year?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Bills, Eagles.
Okay.
I think the Eagles, man. They're just too good.
Uh-oh.
The Eagles are just too good.
Oh, I can see the pain in your voice. You saying that. I can see it.
The Eagles win the Super Bowl.
Oh, look at his face.
And Saquon Barkley's the Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, no, that would be the worst. That would be the worst for you. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
The Eagles win. I think it's a close game, very close game.
Oh, my God.
It's a 1-score game.
Oh, my God. I can see the pain right there. You know what? I'm going to make you feel better. I'm going to take Buffalo to beat the Eagles.
Wow.
Because I think, listen, the Eagles defense, Fangio, I just feel like one of these guys, Lamar, Josh Allen, I do feel like Josh Allen more likely. He's been knocking on the door. I feel like it's his time. I've seen games this season where I say to myself, all this man needs is one Super Bowl run, and he's the closest, I think, to rivaling Mahomes as far as our legit threat in the AFC, outside of Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow's team's not that good right now. But I think Josh Allen gets the job done. Buffalo finally sees their first Super Bowl. I'm gonna take Buffalo to beat the Eagles. I at least respect Buffalo in my division.
We had the same picks for everything.
Basically, yeah.
Except the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine though. That's fine. So that's our Super Bowl 59 picks. Now, I gotta have you stick around because you're also an NBA fan. Okay. Now, this man, I'm giving you redemption time. Okay. I'm giving you redemption time. Okay. We've got a lot in to cover. Now you're gonna go over the MVP picks as well for the NBA. We got surprises, we got disappointments, but let's go through the standings right now in the East. Cleveland is 34-5, leading the East. Who would have thought that in the beginning of the season? Followed by Boston, 6.5 games out. The Knicks 3, Milwaukee Bucks 4, Orlando 5, Indiana rounding out the top 6. In the play-in spots, the Detroit Pistons, the Atlanta Hawks, the Miami Heat, and the Chicago Bulls, with the Sixers being 2 games out and your Brooklyn Nets being 4 out, they were down by 61 points to the Clippers.
We're done. Yeah. This season's we should tank. We should tank it.
So nothing good about Jordy Fernandez anymore?
No, I mean, like, he's only could work with so much.
Right. No, I'm joking.
Last night we had no Cam Johnson,
okay,
no D'Angelo Russell, no Cam Thomas.
Oh.
So
yeah,
we're missing 3 of our starters.
Yeah.
Where we had like a bunch of like we had young guys, you know, who arguably could be in the G League right now. So, you know, we Jordy Fernandez, I like him. I just think we gotta give him something to work with because but we should tank. Stack picks, which we've been doing. Sean Marks has a lot of picks been stacked. Right. We just traded Schroeder for some picks. So. Yep. Yeah. So we can go down the West now, maybe.
Okay. I was gonna ask you if you think the Nets have a legit chance at Cooper Flag, but I don't want to jinx
Flag. Okay. Yeah.
But I don't want to jinx you. In the West, Oklahoma City leads the West, followed by the Rockets 6 games out, the Grizzlies at 3, the Nuggets at 4, the Clippers at 5. The Lakers in the 6th spot. In the play-in spot is Dallas, Minnesota, Sacramento, who just fired Mike Brown. I don't know why they did, but that's something we'll save. Golden State at 10, followed by the Suns. The Spurs are game under 500.
You happy, Katie?
You
happy, Katie?
So, let's go through the surprises and disappointments first of the standings. Who do you got right now as a surprise based on almost halfway through the season already?
I mean, the Cavs definitely up there. Number 1 team in the league.
And guess who they're coached by?
Former Nets coach.
Kenny Atkinson.
You know, I'm happy for Kenny. Nothing but the best for Kenny Atkinson. but it seems like the Nets just give away everything. KD, I'm very happy for you. This is what you get.
Oh,
You're not even in a fucking playing spot. So, you happy? You're happy now, Kevin. All right. So, surprises, definitely the Cavs.
Yep.
Definitely the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah,
The Detroit Pistons, we got them right here.
Yep.
8-2 in their last 10.
Wow.
They're riding on a hot streak right now.
And
led by their
JB Bickerstaff's the coach.
the former Cavs coach.
Yep. Who are they led by? I'm sorry.
They're led by Cade Cunningham.
Yep. Seen him.
Great point guard. A lot of people say Cade Cunningham's better than SGA.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna go that far. I mean, my NBA nerd's gonna be watching. I'm not gonna go that far.
I don't agree with that, but
okay,
I've seen that. I've seen that being said.
I don't agree with that at all.
I don't agree with that either.
No.
More surprise teams. You can go. Looking down here, I would say like the Pistons, the Cavs, and then you got the Spurs, who are also. They're right out of that play-in spot.
Yeah, they're only like half a game out.
They have Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
And then Chris Paul, dude. You put him on any team, and they become better. So
Yeah.
I have those teams. The Rockets look good.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, that's
the Rockets look really good.
Yep.
Thunder, we expected that. So
right.
I wouldn't say they're a surprise.
No.
Yeah, but I think those are my surprise teams.
Okay.
Yeah, the Spurs definitely.
Yeah.
Cavs, Rockets, and Pistons.
Okay, great choices. I think Udoka had the Rockets in a good spot. I felt like at the end of last season, I knew they would get better, but to be number 2 in the West, I did not see that coming. I knew Memphis would be better once Ja was playing. Now you pair him with Zach Edey. That's a good with Jaren Jackson, who, if he could stay out of foul trouble, that team is a pretty good all-around team. Desmond Bane's still there. Marcus Smart is a good veteran point guard that's been far. So I like that, Memphis' team construction, right? I'm really shocked at the Clippers being there at 5. Without Paul George being there, James Harden still being, all right as he is, and, Kawhi barely plays. How they're number 5, I don't.
Yeah. That's actually surprised too. Norman Powell's been doing really good for them.
Okay, see, I don't know this stuff. I haven't watched NBA. I've watched more college basketball.
I think he's averaging 24 a game. So
wow, okay.
On like 40% from 3.
I would have never guessed he would be doing this good.
Yeah, Norman Powell's been solid for them.
Yeah. So I would say the Clippers would be mine because I didn't expect them to be this good. In the East, I would have took the Pistons because I feel like that they had material. I thought Monty over time would do this. But they gave up on Monty Williams after 1 year, and I don't think Monty ever looked like he was happy in Detroit. So I'm going to go with Detroit, and I'm going to go with the Clippers.
I like that.
Okay. Disappointments.
We'll go Philly.
Yeah, that would have been mine.
Philly is looking bad.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey can't buy a bucket. He's shooting 30% from the field.
Oh.
From 3 as well. Joel Embiid can't stay healthy.
Never can.
Paul George is not meshing in real well.
Nope.
So the Philly is not even in a playing spot with Paul George, Maxey, Embiid,
Jared McCain, who's out for the season.
Up, right. So yeah, they got a good team, and their record doesn't show for it.
Right.
So that's one disappointing from the East. And then from the West, I would go with. There's a couple. Minnesota's been, Dallas I expected to be better too.
Yeah.
Dallas I expected to at least be in a playoff spot.
Yep.
They're in a play-in spot, but. And the Suns, dude. You know what? I'm gonna take the Suns as the biggest disappointing team in the West.
Yep.
Led by one of the best scorers in NBA history, Kevin Durant, and you're not even above 500. You got Devin Booker, Kevin Durant,
Bradley
Beal. What are you guys doing here? What's going on in Phoenix? Phoenix Suns, the most disappointing team in the West.
All right, let me ask you this because I've heard this rumbling within the last week or so. Now this involves, Louis. Okay. Now Jimmy Butler, he wants out of Miami. Now, Stephen A. Smith says that if anybody's going to trade for Jimmy Butler, it should be the Phoenix Suns. Now, again, I don't know if Jimmy would be happy in Phoenix with KD, with Booker. I doubt Bradley Beal would want to get his no trade clause to Miami, right? So I don't think it's a good trade for both sides. But would you think the Suns be a good fit for Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler on the Suns.
Yes.
Sorry. I don't think so.
Neither do I.
I think they have too many guys who want the ball.
Yep.
And it just won't work out. I mean, yeah, I don't see how that works out for the Suns.
Right.
I think the last thing they need right now is I think like a guy like Bam would be better for them. Like
They need a big, yeah.
than
They need a big.
than Bradley. They don't need more guards,
No.
in my opinion.
No.
So I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Jimmy, to me, I don't think he'd be a good fit in Phoenix because, again, KD's not really a leader over there. Devin Booker, I like, but what? You think Jimmy's going to elevate the Suns with a team that, to me, just keeps disappointing even more? They're going backwards. They're not going forward. They're going backwards. And I'm like, yeah, Jimmy's going to be happy with them? No way. No way. But I would ask you, though, where do you think Jimmy Butler lands?
I'm not really sure.
That's all right.
I mean, I've heard like rumors of him going back to the Wolves, which,
Him and Ant-Man, though?
yeah, I don't think that would work out
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Where do I think he goes?
Yeah.
I mean, what team could really use him?
That's what I'm thinking when I'm looking at it.
I mean, who's the Rockets? They got Jalen Green.
Sengun,
I
Fred
think.
Van Vliet, Dylan Brooks, I think's there.
Okay, so I don't.
Maybe
there.
Yeah.
Maybe the Rockets.
they got a young thing though. I don't know if you want him to mess that up.
Right, they're doing really good.
Right, they were 1-5 straight.
Honestly, dude, I could see Butler going. I could see him fitting with the Bucks.
With Doc Rivers, with Giannis and Dame, with Middleton, one of them's gonna have to get given up, man.
Yeah.
But Giannis hasn't been happy there. But I don't think they move on from Giannis midpoint. No way.
No, I mean, I don't know who the Bucks give the heat. You're right, but just looking at it, and Middleton, I feel like he could replace Middleton, Butler.
He is injury prone, Middleton. I don't know how I feel about that. Dame, Giannis, and
What about
Jimmy.
the Magic?
They got a nice young core though. Ben Carroll,
Suggs.
Suggs.
Wagner.
Right.
Franz Wagner. He's been
Yeah,
good.
I mean.
Yeah,
a
so
good
I'm not
veteran
really
that-
sure, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard right now. I mean, people think Golden State to help Curry, but again, like you got two aging guys on the same team. That's not going to last long.
It's tough for Butler right now.
It is. It's not a good market for him.
It's not a good market.
No.
He's 35, 34.
Right.
He has a couple of years left.
And he's looking for a big contract still.
He's looking for a big contract. He's got to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
If he wants to win, he's got to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't know where Butler goes.
But if you had to pick a team, just pick one.
Pick one team.
Yep. If you think Miami ends up trading him.
Maybe put me on the spot here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm thinking of the team right now, and I'm thinking.
Oh. Detroit? No, I'm kidding.
No, I think.
What's your team? What do you think?
You ready for this? The LA Clippers, I think, need him with Kawhi. Now, people are gonna be like, "Why would you get the same exact
Harden.
player?" Well, Kawhi is banged up. James Harden, again, it's a bad situation, but at the same time, this is basically a guy that I mean, he might be happy in LA. I feel like that's the only place I could legit see him going. That I think. Now, if people are like Clippers and salary cap out, yeah, well, you let Paul George go. You're gonna tell me you can't fit Jimmy Butler under 1 year? I think he might go there.
You know what? I'm gonna go just because I want to see this absolute mess. Phoenix Suns.
Oh, you want the Messi? You want KD to be bad?
No, Butler to the Phoenix Suns. Let's make Phoenix even worse.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's how cruel, man, you are with KD. All right, let's go to the MVP. All right, you brought this to my attention last night. Who do you think wins the MVP this season? Because Jokic, I think, is the favorite right now. You got SGA. I think you told me Wembanyama's in the top 4?
Yeah, he's in the top 5.
Top 5. Okay, so who else is in
So
there? Giannis,
I know
right?
Giannis. The last person I could check it out real quick. Yeah, so we got number 1 based on the rankings, SGA. 2 is Jokic.
Okay. But who do you think wins MVP?
Who do I think wins it?
Yeah.
I think you got to give it to SGA right now.
Okay. I think you did it once upon a time. I think you.
I remember last time I was on.
I think you said SGA better than Luka.
That's what I was saying.
I mean, you don't tell me you still believe that now.
No.
Okay.
But I think he's the MVP right now. So here they have Jason Tatum as 5.
Okay, I'm fine with him in the top 5.
But I think it's either SGA or it's Jokic.
Okay, but who'd you give it to?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
All right.
MVP.
I'm fine with that. I think, he obviously is leading in scoring right now. Obviously, a team that, potentially is the best record in the NBA. Usually,
After tonight, they could tie the Cavs.
That's a great game tonight. I feel like that. This team, hey, they've won 3 straight. I think they're like 17-2 at home right now. Yeah, I feel like.
And they got other guys too. It's not just they got Jalen Williams,
Chet Holmgren,
who's been hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think SGA, if you take him off that team, they're a 500 team.
Yeah.
I don't think they're better than that though.
No.
So, but if it's tough though because MVP is not necessarily, it's not necessarily the best player, right? Or it's the most valuable to their team.
Yeah, Jokic has been a PER prince the last couple of seasons.
Right, and then Giannis is always in that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think SGA.
I'd probably lean him too.
Yeah, I think SGA right now, and if I had to take a second pick, Jokic. Because if you take Jokic off that team, dude.
Oh yeah.
They're not even in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, without question. No way.
No.
So, I'm gonna spice it up a little bit. NBA Finals pick. I'm going to let you pick your top 4 in each conference. Get to the second round.
All right,
but
you're my chance.
Yeah, there's redemption. So I'm going to give you.
What I have? Pelicans, Nets.
You had Pelicans, Nets last time you were on here. You better redeem yourself now. No excuse. You better redeem yourself now. No foolishness.
All right. So with the East.
Yes. Who gets to the second round?
All right. So we got. Okay. So let's look at that. Cavs.
Okay.
Boston.
Okay.
Is Orlando going to be healthy?
That's what I'm worried about.
Is Orlando going to be healthy? Do the Hawks pull off something crazy?
No. Come on now. Don't tell me Atlanta. No.
All right. Give me the Cavs, Boston. You got to put New York.
Okay. So they get by Indiana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think New York with Towns now.
Okay.
And the last team, I don't trust the Bucks. Give me the Orlando Magic.
All right. So you don't think the Pistons have a shot to get to the 6th spot at all? And
no.
Okay. They would play the Knicks anyway. I don't.
As long as the Magic have their guys in, like Suggs, Wagner, Banchero, Goga Bitadze.
Oh my God! See these random names, bro. I don't even know half these. I don't even know that Goga Bitadze. Come on now.
Yeah, those are my 4 though. I just don't trust the Bucks. I don't know why.
Okay.
They would be my other team, but I don't trust the Bucks.
So you got Cavs Magic. Looks like in the semis.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got the Cavs?
Cavs finals.
Okay. Now Knicks Celtics.
Cavs Eastern Conference Finals. Sorry, right.
Yeah.
So then Knicks Celtics.
This is the one everybody wanted to see. Who thought would be in the Eastern Conference Finals? Well, now they're in the second round this time.
Celtics would have home court.
Right.
So that's big. Is Towns enough to take them over the hump? Can Porzingis stay healthy for Boston?
That seat's getting spicy over there.
I just don't want to be left with the Pelicans situation, so I gotta.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Give me The Boston Celtics.
And how many games?
6.
Okay.
I just thought about like their bench.
Yeah.
Like Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench. He's scary, man.
No, he's good. I know.
He's scary.
I know.
They got Derek White,
Yeah, who I like.
Drew Holiday,
Yeah, he can defend.
Porzingis, Brown, Tatum.
Yeah.
I mean, the Knicks are good too, you
Right.
know, but they're.
I don't like that they got rid of Dante. I think they needed that 3-point shooting. I don't like that they did that. Bridges' jump shot looks off.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I would lean Boston too.
So give me Boston Cavs.
All right, Boston Cats. Who comes out of the East?
Wow, that's a good matchup.
Yeah.
That's a real good matchup.
Right.
Boston Cavs. I'm gonna take the Cavs to make the finals.
Wow. How many games?
I'm gonna take the Cavs in 7.
Cavs in 7. Okay. All right. In the West, who's your top 4 in the West?
See, the West now is more up for grabs. I feel.
Okay. See this one.
My top 4: OKC,
Go ahead.
Denver Nuggets,
Okay. So they move up from 4.
Well, you're
well-
saying to finish the season
Well, to be in the Eastern Conference semifinals, right? So
or the Western Conference?
the Western Conference. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So I'm just picking 4 out of order.
Okay, but I'm saying, do you have OKC meeting Denver? Or do you think Denver gets to 2, 3, 4?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I don't know. I think.
But I'm fine with OKC Denver. Just make sure you know.
Yeah, OKC Denver. Is I'm just picking 4,
Right.
and then I have. The Rockets. Do I trust the Houston Rockets?
I don't know if I do. Yeah. I don't know if I do.
This is a tough. Will Dallas make a run? Will Luka finally get healthy? Give me the Dallas Mavericks.
To make a run again? Okay.
Yeah.
I won't bet against Luka. Okay.
Dallas, OKC, Denver. That leaves one more spot.
Right. So who you got in that one?
And we'll give that last spot to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay. All right. I have no issue with the 4. All right. So
that would mean I would have, based on the current standings,
I'm gonna say
or
what? Memphis meets Dallas in the second round, and OKC meets Denver. Is that what? Do I have that right? Yeah. I think based on the picture here, yeah.
so I would take. Is the Western so it'd be Denver, OKC. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
real tough.
probably lean OKC.
I'll take OKC.
I'm a little worried with the Nuggets' depth.
I'll take OKC Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
And I'll take them playing the Dallas Mavericks.
So you think Dallas gets by the Rockets and they get by Memphis? I mean, they got Clay, they got Luka, they got some guys who did it last year, so they
PJ
get back.
Washington,
They
good
get
wing.
back. Yeah, they get back to the conference finals. So now you got Dallas, OKC, and a rematch of the semis last year. Dallas beat them in 6 games last year. That was a great series too.
OKC wins.
OKC
they
wins.
redeemed themselves.
How many games?
OKC in 6.
Okay, so we got tonight Cavs, OKC playing tonight. They're your NBA Finals.
They're my NBA Finals.
How many?
This is the preview of the NBA Finals tonight.
So how many games and who wins? And then if you want to throw a little curveball, who wins tonight?
That's tough.
Yep, it's getting spicy. I told you when you
Who wins tonight? What is it? In Cleveland?
Let me look. I got you.
So it's in OKC.
Yeah, it's an OKC.
Okay. I mean OKC. I think the home court.
So OKC wins tonight.
I think the Cavs win the finals.
How many games?
Then, congratulations.
How many games?
Unless I cursed you, I don't know.
Oh, how many games do the Cavs beat OKC?
7.
Okay. And who gets home court in the finals?
I think the Cavs hold on.
Okay, so Cavs get home court. Anything they win on home 7.
Yeah.
Second finals in 10 years. That's crazy.
I think that pick was better than my last year's pick.
Well, I'll let the audience make that call. All right, I'll give mine quick. I think I want to pick Luka to go back-to-back in the finals, but I don't I just like the makeup of this OKC team. I do. I think they're really good. I think SGA can get them far. I'll tell you my sleeper. I think Memphis gets to the conference finals. I do. I think John Morant, Zach Edey, Jaren Jackson, Smart, Desmond Bain. That's a good team that's just been right there. I think OKC Memphis in the conference finals. 7 games.
Wow. 7 games.
Ready? I'm going bold. John Morant
Wow.
beats OKC. This is John Morant's year.
To go to the finals.
Yep. We saw Luka do it. John Morant's healthy.
Wow.
I think Zach Edey, Jackson, that front court.
That's
Taylor
a
Jenkins.
bold pick.
Taylor Jenkins is a good coach. I just like Memphis's roster a little bit. I know OKC's got the better team, people, but trust me, superstars elevate. I'm not saying Shea Gilgeous-Alexander won't, but I'm going John Morant this year to make the finals. Now in the East, God, I mean, Cavs get to the conference finals. I think I do. Knicks Celtics. I would lean Boston in 7 games. I do. If the Knicks get 1 3-point shooter, maybe a couple, I think the Knicks could give the Celtics a run. I just don't know if their shooting can beat Boston's duo. I know they built their whole team to beat Boston. Something goes wrong with the Knicks every time in the second round. Give me Boston, Cleveland. Boston beats Cleveland in 6.
Wow.
So
okay.
Boston against Memphis in the finals. This pains me because we saw UConn win back-to-back in college hoops. We saw Kansas City Chiefs win back-to-back in football. Oh, man. I think Boston wins against Memphis. I think Boston wins I think it's a better series. I think it's Boston wins in 6.
2-peat.
I think they go back-to-back.
Okay.
For the first time since Golden State. I think Boston beats Memphis. I do.
That's big.
I do.
I like it.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies are a shock to me.
Yeah, but I think they're good, though. I think they're good. But last one for your ball. Ohio State, Notre Dame, college football playoff national championship. Who you got?
I'm not too familiar with the players or. I just know Notre Dame has good. What is it?
They got a good running game.
Their special teams have been coming up big, right?
Yeah, Jeremiah Love is a good running back for them. They got a decent team. Riley Leonard's a good quarterback.
The guy Sawyer on Ohio State.
Yeah,
He's big,
but they're loaded. Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Buka, Travion Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins, and the running backs. Right. Will Howard's been playing pretty good.
Give me Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm leaning that too.
Give me Ohio State to win the Natty.
Although I want Notre Dame to win, but I don't see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Rebal, as always. Thanks, my man.
Yo, thanks, Rich.
Yeah, you redeemed yourself. I think you redeemed yourself.
I hope those picks. Remember, we got the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
2 scores over the Chiefs.
Yes, I'm gonna play that if that actually happens. I'll play this a little preview, but that will be great. Rebal, as always, thanks for coming on, man. Guys, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend of the Divisional Round weekend. I will be back potentially Monday to recap the action, preview the AFC NFC Championship with my predictions on who makes the NFL Hall of Fame. Make sure you guys hit that like button, that subscribe button, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that way you guys can get all of the latest content for Lounge Time in the postseason run. I will see you guys next week. And thanks for Ball, as always, for coming on. But
Thanks for having me.
Yep. So I will see you guys next week on the next episode of Lounge Time. Have a great weekend, everybody.